Hello friends, Goddess of Awesome here, and I just wanted to do a follow-up on the BackPage fiasco that's going on right now. So people are genuinely freaking out. Absolutely freaking out. And it's not just the providers. I mean, I'm not working right now. You know, I did my final tour already. You can reference my videos. You know, I documented my whole entire tour. Now, I still have some videos to upload. I have about 100 at least to upload. I've been running into computer roadblocks. You know, my startup disk was full. I had to figure out how to erase things. Anyways, you know, I'm not in the gig right now. You know, I've been working towards getting out. Obviously, I've created a YouTube channel for you. I'm working on a website. I have a plan. I have a roadmap, you know. But my beloved clients who have seen me before have been reaching out ever since this all went down. You know, today is the 10th, I believe. So it's only been 4 days, you know, and people don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know, you know. There's so much uncertainty, you know, and people are freaking out, you know. So let's talk about, you know, everybody wants to talk about the ick that sex workers bring. And I only ever did sensual massage, right? But that's definitely a sex worker, right? Somebody who specializes in hand jobs. Sex worker, you know, working with sexual energy. But what about the gift that a sex worker brings to society? You know, there's so many of us, girls and boys, who have found their way into this realm, you know, and we've found our way here for various reasons. Each sex worker has their own reason for being in the game, you know. But let's imagine a world without them. What if there was no sex workers whatsoever? What if it was just a clean slate out there and that didn't exist? What's going to happen to all the unloved people? There's a lot of people out there who aren't receiving affection from their relationships, right? From their chosen mate. There's a lot of cold beds out there. You can look at my video, The Epidemic of Cold Beds. I have covered this already. There are so many grievances that married persons have, the unmarried person who's in a long-term relationship. There's a lot of grievances some of those people have. Now, there are a lot of very many happy married people. Okay, we need to give that credit. There's a lot of happy married people out there. But for very many people, the happiness of being in a couple fades after so long. And, you know, some guys may bark, you know, they may complain about not receiving affection at home. Some might be too tender and sweet to bring it up, you know. It's a touchy subject. You know, they don't want to piss off their loved one. They don't want to put undue pressure on their mate. You know, they know you're busy. You know, they know you have a career. They know you're taking care of the house. They know you're taking care of the kids, you know. They know you're handling a lot of things. They don't want to add to your list of things to do, you know. But when they're feeling unloved, what are their options? You know, they can talk to you about it and maybe not have anything come of it, you know, which maybe they've tried. And then, if that didn't work, well, then maybe they could go get affection elsewhere. Now, most married people, you know, chicks, I imagine, are not going to want their man strolling around inserting his penis into other chicks. You know, I totally get that. You know, there's a lot of disease out there. I've recently heard that AIDS is up on the uprise, which we don't hear about it talked about that much, but that's what I've heard. There's a lot of scary things out there. For me personally, the most scary things are the skin diseases. Those freak me out, you know, like herpes, like genital herpes, or warts, that kind of stuff. To me, those are the most scariest ones, you know. So an alternative, a healthy alternative to sexual play, I think, would be a hand job, right? Because there's no sexual fluids being exchanged. I mean, there may be a release of one person's fluids, but it's not mixing and matching with the provider, right? Because her genitals or his genitals are not on the genitals that are being worked on. It's hands-on. You know, hands, fingertips, working on that part. So, you remove the sex worker from society and you think you're going to do society a heap of good? I don't know. This is going to be interesting to see how all of this unfolds. I mean, if we can look back on history and just gain a small insight from something they did try to take away, which was alcohol, right? Back in the day, they tried to take alcohol away through the years of prohibition. Did that work? Was it successful? When you tell people not to do something, you can't have that. No, you can't have that. You want it, you like it, but you can't have it. 'Cause I said so. And that's what it is. Come on now, let's get realistic. You know, human nature. You put that cookie jar up really high, what's going to happen? People are still going to reach for it. They're going to crave cookies even more than ever. I mean, I quit smoking pot. Tomorrow will be 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago tomorrow, I quit smoking weed. I have to tell myself I can have it anytime I want it. That's how I am with staining. I have some. I could go smoke it if I want it right now. It makes it easier not to, knowing that it's within reach, you know. When that cookie jar is on the counter, it's like I don't have to have a cookie. It's right there. I can have one anytime I want. I don't need to go run after it. It's right there. I think similar thing for sex workers or for those who indulge or dabble, lightly taste every blue moon. You know, some people only ever come to see a sex worker once a year or once every 3 years, you know. I mean, seldom will you have someone who comes to see you once a month. Very, very seldom will you have a weekly person, and those people are blessings, you know, to the everyday average sex worker. If you can get a weekly client, my God, that's wonderful. But a lot of people don't treat themselves that often, you know? So it's not like it's something that they're doing this, cookie, 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 like the Cookie Monster. It's not like that, you know? Prohibition didn't work. You remove alcohol, what happened? Speakeasies were born, right? It went underground. Bootlegging happened. A lot of people made a lot of money during Prohibition from bootlegging, you know? It's human nature, and you can't suppress that. You can't stifle it, you know? So, wow, you know, it's interesting. Some of the biggest sites are gone right now. I'm not going to list them here. I'm not going to say them. I'm not trying to give any credit to them. I'm not trying to discredit them. But 3 of the biggest sites that I know of are gone right now. Absolutely gone. And it's probably only a matter of time before the other directories go. I'm so thankful and grateful that I've been on my mission to get myself out, you know. It's been a long road for me. It's been a lot for me to summon my courage to be here, sharing my face with you, the whole entire world, speaking about such sensitive subjects, taboo subjects, subjects we just don't talk about. Let's just brush that underneath the rug. We don't talk about it. We think about it, but we don't talk about it. You know, it needs to be spoken about and it needs to be addressed, and we need to diffuse the curiosity and the taboo. You know, there's some countries out there who don't have a humongous hang-up on sexual energy. Some of those countries have extremely low STD rates, you know? People are educated about it. And also the cookie jar is right in front of their face. If they want it, they can have a cookie. But because it's right there, we can have that tomorrow. I don't need one right now. Maybe next week. You know what I mean? It's a mental. There's a lot of mentalness, you know, in the game of life. You know? You tell people that they can't have something, they're going to go after it even more. So, you know, I've got some calls and text messages from some very worried clients, you know, who don't know what to do. Now there's a lot of healthy people who come to see a sex worker, I just want to say. You know, most of my clients who've ever come see me are upstanding, contributing individuals to society, right? I mean, they're straight-laced almost as much as straight-laced can be. But they enjoy a full body massage every blue moon. I don't think that's something to crucify somebody over, you know? And the other valuable gift that a sex worker brings to society, no matter what branch you're on, there needs to be positive outlets for sexual energy. Not every person has a relationship. There's a lot of single people out there, you know? And girls need it just as much as boys. I have received handful of messages and inquiries from women wanting me to work on them. But I'm heterosexual. I just don't. I mean, I've tried it. I've tried working on a girl sensually. I was so lost. So it was a couple. They wanted to have a couple massage. You know, I don't get in between the couple. I don't like couple sessions. I don't do couple sessions for very many reasons. And this particular story I'm going to share with you, and then I'll try to wrap it up, is one of them. So years ago, I was doing out calls, and a couple wanted me to come see them. And I let them know, hey, I don't get in between you guys. I don't do that. You know what I mean? So I don't do anything like that. You know, I use my hands, you know. They were fine with that. They were totally fine with that. So it was my earlier 20s. I didn't start drinking until like 26, 25 and a half, maybe somewhere in there. And I mean, I dabbled in high school, but I quit drinking at 19. And not even that I even drank that much. It always made me sick, you know. When I started social dancing and going to nightclubs, that's when I started having social cocktails, because everybody wants to buy you a drink, you know. So this is before my social cocktails moment. This couple wanted me to come over. So they were drinking, and they, you know, people who drink, they're happier if you drink with them. So I accepted a glass of wine. Now they're buzzed, and they're happy, and they're talking, and they're enjoying themselves, and we're walking around the house, and they're showing me things, and I think we went in the pool, or the jacuzzi, whatever. And every blue moon, you know, I'd pour some out when the opportunity came. If I saw a sink, unfortunately, I feel so bad. I poured some in a plant once. Just feel so bad for the plant. But I didn't drink at that time, you know. And I knew as long as I was holding that glass to my lips every blue moon, they were happy, you know. I was being a fantasy girl for them. I was giving them the experience they wanted. So, or were craving. So when it came time for massage, you know, we did a full body massage on them. You know, a lot of times in a couple situation, he and I will massage her to relax her first. And then she and I will massage him, because it's like giving him the gift of two girls, right? There's some chicks out there who are cool with doing that for their man. And when it came time for the happiness at the end, they both wanted their happiness at the same time. I was like a drummer. You know, doing different rhythms with different limbs simultaneously. So here she was on my left and he was on my right. You know, I'm working him or I'm working her. I felt so lost on her, so lost. Even though she had all the same equipment as me, and I kind of knew what to do, I felt so lost rubbing on her there. I mean, I didn't penetrate her or anything. I just went for the clit, you know? That's my spot, so figured that'd be her spot too. But I couldn't connect. I didn't feel myself connecting with her. I couldn't connect with the energy. I couldn't find her. I couldn't find her energy, where she was at. And I couldn't find it enough to connect, to latch onto it, to raise, to build. I know I didn't do any of that because I was literally mentally lost. I did not know how to connect with her. Now, at the same time, I'm working on him, you know, and so much more natural for me. So it made mentally and energetically so much more sense to work on the male part, you know. So here I am, like a drummer, like I said, and I'm doing my magic and I'm working on her, and I'm sitting up, right? They're both laying down. I am sitting up. I'm facing their toes, you know, so all of our heads are on the same, you know, facing this way. And I'm working him, I'm working her, I'm working him, working her, and I'm doing the best I can, you know. Well, he actually gets to his moment and he pops. So once he had his, within seconds, she decided to fake an orgasm. Thank God, you know. I mean, I wasn't getting her there, you know. I don't know if I was even rubbing her wrong or hurting her. I don't know. I was trying not to hurt her, but what I'm trying to say is some girls are into having a sensual massage too. And some couples enjoy having someone come in, play with them, spice it up a little bit, you know. And are we to discredit the valuable position that a sex worker brings to society? Here's the last thing I want to say. I'm going to end this video because I have a couple more things I want to say to you, but I'm going to make another video about that. There's such a positive outlet, the sex worker. It doesn't matter what branch, okay? From the dancer to the sensual massage therapist to the full service girl to the courtesans who maybe they're full service, but they have a lot, maybe they don't even get to the full service all the way because there's so much mind fuck happening. That's where it's at. It's really where it's at. And some of the higher end girls probably really understand that, and the higher end guys really appreciate her knowing how to get into his head, you know. And I'm not talking the downstairs one. I mean, they're obviously connected, but sex happens in the mind, you know. And when it's mundane and it's ordinary after a while, sometimes you need a new flavor, a new thought, a new fantasy, a new approach, a new titillation of the mind on a different direction. That's why people switch from porn. That's why one kind of porn will do it for you after a while, and then after a minute or a few months you have to switch to a different version or a different category, and then maybe after a year or so you switch to a different. What turned you on now may not have turned you on 3 or 5 years ago, but because the mind always needs a little something more to get you there, after a while, you gotta keep switching it up, you know. Nobody wants the same thing for dinner again and again and again and again and again. You don't want to eat the same meal 3 days a week. I mean, 3 times a day for every day of the week, for every day of the year, for every day of your life. Most people don't, you know. So the sex worker is extremely valuable. I would say they're invaluable. And to make it hard for them to work, whoa, this is really, really interesting territory we're getting into right now. I don't wish this upon society, but I have a feeling that sex crimes might go up. You know, you take away the positive outlet, people aren't going to know where to go. People aren't going to want to try to get busted. So who knows what's going to happen. I feel sorry for the vulnerable. And I'm not going to suggest anything because I know the power of suggestion is strong, but I feel bad for the innocent. You know, sex workers help with that. They help ease the tension in society, and they're not given enough due credit. So I'm going to leave it there. People are freaking out right now over this whole BackPage thing disappearing. You know, it's only a matter of time before a different site will rise up. But given what the laws are now, how they're writing the online laws, I don't know. You know, we might be entering a whole new phase similar to prohibition. And if that's true, you know, try as you may, try as they may, they're never gonna wipe it out. I mean, trafficking sucks, right? Beyond sucks. Beyond sucks. You're not ever to force anybody into anything sexual, ever, ever, never. But for those who are of age and who are consciously making their own choices and who are in it for their own reasons, they're not hurting anybody, they're not violent people. They're actually very loving people for the most part. I mean, maybe some of them are on drugs, and unfortunately that sucks, you know, but there's a lot that carry themselves with, you know, integrity. So I feel bad for everybody out there right now. The providers, yes, but boy, the boys are freaking out right now. They don't know what to do. So that's all I'm going to say for this moment. I'll be right back here in a second with another video for you. Thanks for being with me today. I am the Goddess of Awesome. If you found any value in this video and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more, please subscribe. And in the meantime, bright blessings and be well.